you're going to have to get pressure to that, and it's not hard to do. You may but you if an because an IBC I think is only 1,000 liters.
Yeah.
So you're going to need more. You'll 1,000 liters if you had all this irrigated, that would go really quickly. There's really, I don't know them off by heart, but I've looked at this before because I've done these measurements before where you can calculate, okay, based on the irrigation you're using, whether it's drip or overhead, you'll get gallons per minute for whatever that sprinkler is. So if it's drip, they'll say it's like 1 gallon a minute per drip emitter, and it depends on the product you have. It might be half gallon a minute or whatever, gallon per hour, whatever the metric is. You'll just total it up. Okay, so if because these beds are uniquely shaped, which is fine. But if you were to do this on drip, which probably makes more sense because then you don't need as much pressure to water it, and then you'll conserve that water. But you basically, when you lay your drip out, you're just going to have a number of how many emitters there are for each of those beds. And then you're just doing a calculation as to this many emitters are here. They give out a half gallon per hour, multiply that by all the emitters. And then you're going to find out pretty quickly how much water you're going to need per hour to water that much square footage. And so once you figure that out, then you'll be able to figure out how much water capacity you're going to need up the chain in order to water that garden day in and day out.
Mm-hmm. So how do you pressurize a tank? Do you need a like kind of pump and electricity?
Yeah, and it's probably not even a pressurized tank. Sometimes it just depends on what your energy is and how, like, so for people that are off grid, like my new place, I have pressure tanks because I only want to use electricity at once to pump the tank full to get 80 psi, and then it's passive until that pressure goes down to like 50 psi, and then the pump kicks on and charges it again. But that's a common thing for like domestic water. But for farm irrigation water on a pump, usually there's a pump that just kicks on when you want to turn on the water, and it just pumps. And so it's going to run for the whole time that you're irrigating. Yeah. So if there's got to be like an irrigation supply store or something like that in your area.
Yeah, into it before, yeah.
Like they'll have that information for you. Basically, just you go down there and you tell them what you've got and how you're thinking about laying it out. They'll have all kinds of advice for you there, and they'll help you set up a system.
Okay.
Yeah. But basically, yeah, you just need to decide how you can do it. Because I would say, that's definitely a scalability problem, hand watering.
Definitely.
Unless you want to be real agrarians and you're spending, 10 hours a week hand watering your garden.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.